For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Can any of you guys guess what law that is? Because you experience it every single day when you make a change in your grow room. And in this video, we're going to talk more about Newton's third law.
Are you tired of getting crappy advice from your local hydroponics store? Or having to search all over forums to get advice that only takes you in different directions than solving your immediate problem? Well, join our membership for $50 a month. You get direct access to me. We'll connect on WhatsApp app. And just like this gentleman that started back in July with us, as problems arise, we are here for you.
So I just released a video called Grow Tents versus Grow Rooms because we received a question from a gentleman down in SoCal that his room's getting too hot and he wants to know what he should do. And I started to discuss when it was the right time to switch from a grow tent to a grow room. And then ALM, which is one of our subscribers, he's definitely posted a couple times. I really appreciate you, man, for adding your thoughts and viewpoints every time you do. Made a really great point when he actually ran into a similar situation. And what he ended up doing, if I read this correctly, is he cooled down one room with an AC unit, and then he pulled that cold air into his grow room. The issue that he ran, though, was because the AC was drying out the air, he actually ended up having to run a humidifier versus a dehumidifier because it was just too dry for his grow room. And whenever that happens, the leaves just don't get nice and thick and leathery. They get kind of thinnish. And why is that a problem? That's a problem because spider mites are capable of biting the leaves and damaging them quicker. Mold will take place. Other things will happen. And remember, water is life, right? So if it's too dry, just like if it's too wet or too humid, it can be counterproductive in the grow room. Same situation with one of my clients. His plants were dying, right? And we brought him back to life and they just started flourishing and going crazy. Well, what happened when your plants were dying? Well, the plants aren't breathing, and when they're not breathing and they're not taking up water, they're not releasing water into the atmosphere through evapotranspiration. And so when the plants were sickly, the gentleman was just having a nice, perfect humidity, right? But then as they started to flourish and get nice and big, his humidity started to spike to 80 and 90. And because of where he's living in the country, he's dealing with snow on the outside. And because underground is creating such a large amount of heat, there's also a large amount of dew that's being created on the walls, which is now increasing the level of humidity and making it more conducive for powdery mildew to start to take hold in his grow room. So, right, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. We take a step in a positive direction in one way. We also have to take into consideration what is it going to do to my grow environment. If the plants grow and get big and flourish, because they're getting big and flourishing, how will that affect my grow environment? And that's really what we've talked about. One of the next steps is becoming a master grower. A master grower really is just someone that's experienced in many different forms of growing techniques. And because they've had experience witnessing grows from start to finish in specific growing medias or techniques or under specific lights or under different grow conditions, or they have gotten creative to bring in harvests, kind of like a MacGyver type style of solving problems, they become master growers because they're constantly capable of coming up with solutions that were guided by their past experiences. I'm not going to get too deep into this video about what to do, what not to do, and what to be cautious of. I am really just trying to educate your mind. I'm trying to shift your focus from a skill set foundation to a mindset foundation. I'm trying to help you understand that initially you might have a problem, but by solving that problem and because your plants begin to flourish, you might put yourself into having 2 or 3 other problems, right? Initially, your problem is small, so you have a small 1 or 2 problems. But if you solve that problem, your plants will flourish, and you now might run into height problems. You might run into humidity problems. You might run into bug problems. And you might even feel overwhelmed in many situations because in the beginning, when your plants were dying, all you had to worry about was the plants were dying, right? But now as the plants flourish and you get further into your grow, you're having to deal with humidity problems, you're dealing with bug problems, mold problems, botrytis problems. It was like, Jesus, your life was just simpler when your plants were dying versus when they were flourishing, which also should be a self-reflection on how you handle your problems in life when changes occur in your grow room. Are you going to be one of those growers that is reactive to the problem or proactive to the problem? I've shot a couple of videos about being proactive versus reactive that goes more into depth on those types of things and shifting your mindset. I guess my point to this video really, guys, is that when you get in your grow room and you make a change, know that there is going to be something else that happens. You are God. You are creating microenvironments in your house for these plants to thrive. These plants release water. They drink up water. You're using high-intensity discharge lights that produce a lot of heat and cool down quickly. You're doing lots and lots of different things that end up becoming the living organism of your grow room, especially for the novice growers and the ones that are just getting started growing into a new grow room. Don't get overwhelmed when things occur in your grow room. Look forward to it. Kind of like you making love to your wife year after year. For me, personally, I love doing my best to try to get to know my lover. I do my best to create an intimate relationship with her so that when I do something different and I get a reaction, I know how to handle it so that the mood doesn't change and we're capable of continuously making love. And in reference to this video, making love means growing your plants, bringing in the harvest, and getting your ROI. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great grow, everyone.